Elton Sawyer, NASCAR's vice president of competition, has finally spoken out after the Daytona 500 chaos, and what he revealed has left fans stunned. With controversy swirling around wrecks, penalties, and unexpected finishes, Sawyer's statement wasn't just another corporate response. It was a game-changer that could shape the future of the sport. But here's where things get even more surprising. Cleetus McFarland, a YouTube daredevil turned racer, is shaking up the NASCAR world like never before. From law student to internet sensation, his journey is unlike anything NASCAR has ever seen. And now, with his unexpected rise in professional stock car racing, the big question is, does NASCAR need Cleetus McFarland? We're breaking down his wild journey, its impact on the sport, and why his presence could change NASCAR forever. Before he was tearing up the track, Cleetus McFarland was just a law student named Royal Garrett. Born with a passion for speed, engines, and all things fast, he grew up surrounded by cars. But like many young adults, he faced pressure to follow a traditional path. His parents encouraged him to pursue law, believing it was the safest route to success. But deep down, Garrett wasn't built for a life of legal documents and courtrooms. He found himself drawn to the world of racing, mechanics, and, unexpectedly, YouTube. What started as a hobby, filming street racing and car builds, quickly became something more. He realized that social media wasn't just for entertainment. It was a career opportunity waiting to be seized. Garrett got his start working for 1320 Video, a well-known street racing YouTube channel. As part of the crew, he filmed and documented high-performance cars, wild races, and behind-the-scenes moments from the underground racing world. But one random moment changed everything. While goofing around on camera, he jokingly adopted a redneck persona, throwing on an exaggerated accent and a carefree attitude. And just like that, Cleetus McFarland was born. The audience loved it. What was meant to be a joke turned into a full-fledged personality that resonated with car enthusiasts across the internet. His over-the-top antics, infectious energy, and deep knowledge of cars made him an instant favorite. People weren't just watching the racing, they were watching for Cleetus. As the character grew in popularity, Garrett faced a life-changing decision: continue law school or go all in on YouTube. He didn't hesitate. Cleetus McFarland became his full-time identity, and he never looked back. Once he embraced the Cleetus persona, he transformed his YouTube channel into a powerhouse. No longer just a guy behind the camera, he was now the face of the brand, organizing outrageous events, modifying extreme cars, and even creating his own Freedom Factory racetrack. But here's where things take a turn. His wild journey didn't just make him an internet sensation, it put him on NASCAR's radar. And now, with his entry into professional stock car racing, the sport may never be the same again. Cleetus McFarland's success didn't come from just racing, it came from how he made racing fun and accessible. Instead of focusing on high-end supercars and elite competitions, he built a brand that blended comedy, grassroots racing, and mechanical know-how. His content stood out because it was relatable. While other automotive channels showcased million-dollar hypercars, Cleetus focused on affordable, heavily modified cars, proving that you didn't need a fortune to enjoy fast cars and adrenaline-pumping action. His mix of wild stunts, crazy builds, and a down-to-earth approach attracted both hardcore car enthusiasts and casual viewers. But he wasn't just about making YouTube videos. He wanted to create a space where car lovers could race, experiment, and have fun without restrictions, and that led to his biggest move yet. Cleetus made headlines in 2020 after buying a racetrack, something many YouTubers dream of. He bought Bradenton Motorsports Park in Florida and renamed it Freedom Factory. This was not just about business, it was a major turning point for grassroots motorsport. Owning a track meant no more restrictions. He could host his events, build custom race cars, and test limits without interference from outside forces. He kicked off Cleetus and Cars, an enormous carnival of sorts with burnout contests, drag racing, and wild high-energy stunts. But probably the most popular is the Freedom 500, a race in which drivers compete in old police cars, thus making a contest of unpredictable hilarity and excitement. With a racetrack, events, and a personality that went beyond the largest definition of the term, Cletus was no longer just a YouTuber. He was rewriting the car culture of America. Not before long, he was on NASCAR's radar. After years of building his brand with the grassroots racing community, Cletus McFarland stunned everyone with his NASCAR debut. He ran in the ARCA Menards Series at Daytona in the number 3 Ford Mustang for Rhett Jones Racing. This was a big step into the world of stock car racing for a YouTuber who had never had a professional oval racing experience. Surprisingly, Cletus did well on the test days, with lap timing for 15 fastest, which is respectable for a rookie. On race day, however, it was another story. Daytona is chaotic with fast action drama, and Cletus got a taste of that drama when he was caught in multiple crashes that essentially ended his run on lap 15. Not the picture-perfect end that fans wished for, but the influence he generated in NASCAR was clear. Cletus may not have triumphed in the race, but scored hard on the internet. His Fox Sports post-race interview smashed the ARCA record with 5.8 million views in Cletus style.
Well, I was having the best day of my life, ripping around Daytona like a bald eagle. I was flat out, avoiding a wreck, which was awesome. I thought I was the best driver to ever exist in that moment.
For context, ARCA events do not quite engage that level, which shows that Cletus ushered in an entirely new audience into NASCAR. He is credited with attracting younger viewers to the sports and has been prompting serious talk about the future. NASCAR is suffering from declining viewers. Cletus may just be that link to rekindle interest. They need his charm, his fan following, and his enterprising ideas to reach the new generation. Is this a one-off prank, or is Cletus McFarland serious about stock car racing? Cletus McFarland's famous NASCAR debut at Daytona was only the beginning. The excitement surrounding his performance has just gotten bigger, even if he didn't finish the race. Now, he is ready to race once again at Talladega Superspeedway with Rhett Jones Racing, and the expectations are even larger this time around. If he performs well at Talladega, more chances in NASCAR could open up for him. Fans want to see him improve and show that his mile-long personality is matched by his on-track racing ability. Cletus also caught the attention of NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt Jr., who featured him on the Dale Jr. Download podcast. They discussed his ARCA debut, his impact on motorsports, and the possibility of future races. Getting a nod from one of NASCAR's biggest names is a major sign that Cletus isn't just a novelty act. He's someone to watch in the racing world. Cletus McFarland is more than just a YouTube personality. He's redefining grassroots racing. While NASCAR has become increasingly corporate, he keeps racing fun, accessible, and entertaining for the average fan. Unlike traditional racers, Cletus doesn't act like a polished professional. He stays authentic, which keeps his audience deeply connected to his journey. Whether he's organizing wild racing events at the Freedom Factory, hosting burnout contests, or competing in serious races, he blends entertainment with real racing skills. His influence extends far beyond YouTube. He's bridging the gap between digital media and traditional motorsports, proving that a fresh, unconventional approach can attract new fans and keep racing exciting. Whether he continues in NASCAR or not, one thing is clear. Cletus McFarland is changing the game. Cletus McFarland has done something NASCAR has struggled with for years: attract a younger, engaged audience. His mix of humor, high-energy content, and grassroots racing has brought fresh excitement to the sport, drawing millions of views that traditional NASCAR coverage often lacks. The real question is, will NASCAR fully embrace him, or will they resist change? His unconventional style may not fit the sport's traditional image, but his impact is undeniable. Whether he continues racing or focuses on motorsports media, his influence is only growing. What do you think? Should NASCAR lean into McFarland's rising popularity, or is he too much of a disruptor? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. We've got more wild motorsport stories coming soon. See you in the next one.